Farhan Mujahid Chak is an Associate Professor of International Affairs at Qatar University and joins us now from Doha. Good to have you with us, Farhan. So India says it's going to take steps to isolate Pakistan from the rest of the international community. What do you take that to mean?
Well, I think first and foremost, no one should take joy in the loss of life, but we have to take a step back and dispassionately assess what is going on, what is driving young men to commit such acts of violence. And when we do that, we understand violence is a rupture, if you will. It's a disconnect. And this disconnect happens in the context of the disputed territory of Kashmir, which has been suffering under grotesque violations of human rights. There's been, statistically, by the UN report, 95,000 people killed since 1989, 11,000 women gang raped. There was an 8-year-old recently gang raped, Asifa, in Jammu. There are 150,000 civilians that have been arrested, 100,000 orphans. This is the context which is driving youth to commit these acts of violence. And without looking at that context and the history, I'm afraid we're going to miss any real solution to the problem.
In fact, both India and Pakistan have said in the past that they do want to find a solution to this, but there hasn't been very much progress at all so far.
I'd like to mention here at this point that Indian strategy has always been to deny that there's been an issue, deny that the Kashmiris want self-determination, deny that there have been even mass graves. This denial is also hurting India as much as hurting anybody else. But this tactic of trying to blame Pakistan for what really is an entirely indigenous uprising against decades of misrule at the least, eventually, they're going to have to accept the fact that there are UN resolutions, Resolution 39, Resolution 47, that call for a plebiscite. This is disputed territory. It is not a bilateral issue. These are the facts that have to be put forward.
In fact, there are growing calls for a referendum in Kashmir. I know that that is a very controversial move for many people. Do you think that that is gathering any kind of momentum?
Absolutely. I think right now, especially after the UN report, after the European Union Commission report on the violation of human rights in Kashmir, now more than ever, I think there is tremendous momentum to put this issue forward. The Kashmiri people have been promised a plebiscite. It was actually India that took the matter to the United Nations under Chapter 6, which is under the dispute chapter, to the United Nations, India itself. So this is the promise that they've made. These are not time-bound UN resolutions. These are not going anywhere. So the sooner that this plebiscite can be arranged, the less we're all going to have to deal with this violence. The Kashmiris are intimately aware of the effects of this violence on their society and their psyche. And unfortunately, India is going to become increasingly aware of this because there's now such a harsh reaction coming from the Kashmiri population.
Farhan, good to speak with you. Thank you very much indeed for that. Farhan Mujahid Chak there.